working with the London Fire Brigade to establish the cause of the fire, which remains under investigation. While there is currently no indication of foul play, we retain an open mind at this time. Given the location of the substation and the impact this incident has had on critical national infrastructure, the Met's Counter-Terrorism Command is now leading inquiries. This is due to the specialist resources and capabilities within that command that can assist in progressing this investigation at pace to minimize disruption and identify the cause.
London's Heathrow Airport shut down today after a fire at an electrical substation caused a massive power outage. Overnight, local crews worked to contain those towering flames. Something like 70 firefighters responded. The rest of the airport was plunged into darkness. No injuries reported, but Heathrow says it's still not sure when power will be reliably restored. And the ripple effects and cancellations are expected to last for days.
Heathrow Airport says it will be able to restart some flights today and is hoping to resume normal service from tomorrow. Late on Thursday, a fire at an electrical substation knocked out power to Europe's largest airport, disrupting thousands of flights around the world. Earlier today, the National Grid found an interim solution, restoring power to some parts of the airport. Police say there's no indication of foul play, but counter-terrorism forces are investigating the cause of the fire.
We've had a catastrophic fire at an electricity substation, as you've been reporting, which not only meant that Heathrow lost power, but also affected the potential backup generation as well. What I know, having spoken to the National Grid this morning, is obviously the fire brigade is on the scene trying to put out the fire, but also the grid is doing everything they can to restore power as quickly as they can.
Some of you may have noticed on the TV screen, we have made a 180-degree turn. We are headed back to Charlotte. Let me tell you what's going on. There was a huge fire in the power substation at London Heathrow. The runways have lights, but there's no power at all the terminals, and they are not accepting flights into London Heathrow for the next 22 hours. Gatwick and Manchester were not accepting flights, and then they changed their mind and said they are accepting flights. But we are so far away from those airports that by the time we get to Gatwick or Manchester, there will be no room for our airplane because all the other airplanes are diverting to Manchester and Gatwick, and that's why we're returning to Charlotte. We will be on the ground in 3 hours and about 24 minutes.
That is the cause of the problem. It's an electrical substation. It caught fire. We don't know why. There is an investigation now underway, but we're told that the fire is out. National Grid, I should say, trying to restore the network, not least to the businesses and homes in the area, but of course, crucially, to the airport. The airport entirely shut down. No flights in or out this morning. And as Nina said, they were expecting to keep the airport closed until midnight tonight. It means hundreds of flights have been diverted across the country. We know some went to Gatwick, some to Luton, but of course those airports are now full, so some flights are simply turning around and some are being forced to divert to Europe. But that's the scene from Heathrow. You can just make out the airport there at the back, and it gives you a sense of quite how far.
More than 1,300 flights and about 200,000 passengers are expected to be affected by the airport's closure, which saw a record 83.9 million passengers last year. One of the busiest airports in the world was closed Friday after a fire at a nearby electrical substation caused a power outage. An estimated 200,000 travelers could be affected. Heathrow said it didn't know when power would be returned, but energy distributor National Grid said in the mid-afternoon that an interim solution that reconfigured its network would restore electricity to Heathrow and other customers. Authorities do not know what caused the fire, but so far found have no evidence it was suspicious. Residents in West London described hearing a large explosion, followed by a fireball and clouds of smoke, when the blaze ripped through the electrical substation near the airport.